Hello, so I'm going to be doing a quick once-over of the contents of the video production iPad kit that our student teachers have. So this is what it looks like right here on the outside. It's branded with our favorite Goldie. Once you open the container, all of these kits will come with the rig. This is where the iPad fits in it. We're going to go through that in 1 second here. In here you will also have a shotgun microphone. The shotgun microphone, this is your wind shield, wind guard. So this can go on top of it. It's probably just easiest to keep it on there. This little guy will fit on the rig. We'll demonstrate that in a second. Underneath where this is stored, you should have two cables. You'll have one little pigtail cable here that plugs into your shotgun microphone, and you'll have one that is labeled with two different cords. One says tablet or iPhone or whatever, and one says microphone. So that should be self-explanatory. We'll cover that here in another minute. The other thing in here, you should have a light. Now this is USB charged. It has an on-off. You turn it on-off. You can actually dial it up for intensity or dim it down here. And underneath that, you should have a USB to mini USB to plug this in and charge it. The other item that you should have in here is a tripod, basic tripod. Flips out here on this little guy, opens up, and you can start to level your iPad. That locks it down. Underneath the section right here where your tripod is, this is an audio cable that will plug into your tablet. So we're going to examine the rig itself. Again, this rig is what comes out. It's on top. This little clip is expandable, so it should fit on any iPad that you have. And on the back side, you'll notice there's a tightening knuckle. So I'm just going to put in our iPad mini. This is different from the iPad that you currently have, but if I just push it up and let it slide right in there, it's pretty well gripped. But you don't necessarily want to trust that. You want to kind of push down on the top, and then on the back side you are just tightening that down, and you want to kind of push back to make sure that it's in there secure. Now I don't think a lot of you are going to be running around doing anything crazy, but now you have that in there pretty secure. So the next thing on here, you're going to notice on the bottom side you're going to have little attachments. That's called a 1/4-20, and that will fit any standard tripod. So you know that we have a tabletop tripod with this particular kit, but it will go on most standard tripods that you get at Target or whatever. If you've got something that you want to be out in the field and actually have it at face level, and you don't have something to put your tabletop tripod on. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach our shotgun microphone, and remember you have this little disc down here that tightens it to the body. So I'm going to actually put it on the side that's opposite my home button. Now this will probably change on later models or getting rid of home buttons, but I want to put it on the side where the stereo jack is. The stereo jack is right here. So I'm going to slide this into one of the hot shoes, which is this little slot here. I slide it down into, I gotta make sure I've got enough space there. Slide it down into the hot shoe, and then I twist that little disc right here, this little disc, until it tightens to the body. It doesn't need to be really tight because it is plastic. They will strip and break. But now I've got my microphone attached to my rig, and it's on there. It's got a little shock mount. It's a good little setup. So the next thing to do is to connect the actual microphone to the iPad. So This is what gets a little confusing. If you remember, in the kit, you have two different cables. So when you are using a microphone that is going to go primarily into a tablet or a pad, you need to have a hookup that has this little banded. You need to have 3 bands on here on your stereo jack. So that's a little bit different than a standard stereo jack. So this end is the end that is labeled that it goes into the microphone. So I'm going to plug that into the microphone, and then I'm going to plug this into the iPad. So here we go. I'm plugging this guy into the microphone, and then I'm going to slide this. I actually like to thread it through here because it's the rig is already set up to actually plug directly into the stereo jack. So right now I'm connected. The microphone is good to go. I don't need to do anything else, and I'm going to be recording directly into the body of the pad. So you might be asking, why do we have this little pigtail cable? Well, if you remember, underneath your tripod, you have this cable. So this cable is already comes standard with the 3 bands. So I know I can plug that into the iPad right here. On the receiving end, you're going to see 2 little icons. One icon has a little headphone icon, and another one has a microphone icon. This is the headphone icon, microphone icon. So what this does is I can now take this cable out. Remember, this has the 3 bands on it. I want to plug my 3 band into my iPad, and now I'm going to take this little pigtail, because it only has 2 bands. Remember, this has the 3 bands, and I'm going to plug this into my microphone jack, and I'm going to go directly into the microphone. And now I can plug headphones into this jack so I can review and listen to the recordings that I've made. You can't listen in real time, but if you use this cable to try to plug directly into this cable here, you won't be able to hear anything. It won't record because it's doubling up your audio. It's got the 3 bands to 3 bands. It doesn't transfer properly. This is made up to split the channel so you can actually hear. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, if you're recording, you really want to hear that you actually are recording clear audio. So the only way to do that with this setup is to play the clip back. And this saves you time from having to pull this out, plug in your headphone jack, listen to it, then say, oh, that's good, and then you pull this out, or pull your headphones out, and then put this back in to actually use the microphone again. The last thing I'm going to show you again is you have your light here. It's the exact same setup where you're just going to slide it onto the hot shoe wherever you want to place it, and you just dial in on this little piece here to tighten it to your body. Now it's attached and I'm ready to go. So this is kind of how I would like to use this particular setup here. You've got your microphone, you've got your light set up here. The microphone is attached to this guy right here. Remember, you got to use the pigtail if you want to use this adapter to split the channel for headphones. This foam stuff is a little bit, it's loose from the body. Things might start falling apart, but just be kind of gentle when you are putting the rig in. Actually, you might have to pull this foam back. But remember, your adapter cable goes in this slot. Tripod goes right over the top. I've got a charging cable for my light. It's right in here. And then my 2 audio cables, the pigtail and the 3 band to 2 band. I put those right in here, and my shotgun mic goes right over the top. This guy, the rig, slides right in here. So again, I'm pushing down to kind of get that to fit right in there. And you could travel, you know, you can keep your pad in there if you want. It should be able to travel in there. I would just always keep it face up so you're not scratching or messing up the face of it. But that's it.